Peace family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I want to do is I want to talk to my chosen ones about how they will intentionally embed bad and poisonous memories into your spiritual realm. So what kind of brought me to this subject today was just a couple numerous events I had going on myself, and then just understanding that when we do certain things, when we go to certain places, once you see something, you can't unsee it. Once you hear something, you cannot unhear it. Once you eat something, you cannot uneat it. And just as well as we are aware of wanting to constantly create good memories, peaceful memories, the best memories we can possibly create, even if we're not in the best vibration or frequency, even if we're not putting out the best energy that we know we can, we still are aware of the memories that will be created based on our actions. And a lot of these demons out here, it's their job to poison your inner space. And what better way to poison your inner space than to create extremely toxic memories. And what I mean by toxic, it don't even have to just be like something bad happening to you or that they did. What I mean by toxic, I just mean like you could be having a solar return birthday, and let's say you were supposed to get up with somebody on that day and you didn't link up with them on that day because they either started ignoring you or they didn't respond to you, you know what I'm saying, to hit you and let you know what's going on. Most beings know how big and important solar returns B-days are. Even if you're a being that don't celebrate it, it's still one of them things that still crosses your space every year, every cycle. You know what I mean? So when you have beings who will put this kind of toxicity into your spiritual realm, you have to understand that they don't have your best interests at heart. They are actually setting things in place to kind of hinder you and hurt you more in the long haul. That's why people tend to work like using bad words and like all these other word spells and things and these weird actions that people do. Because they know how it affects us. It's kind of like if you celebrated Christmas, it's kind of like somebody supposed to bring you some presents over and they don't bring them. It's kind of like, say you just had surgery and you supposed to meet somebody for dinner afterwards, you know what I mean? And then they don't meet you or call you or give you a heads up. All of these little subtle signs, because they're subtle on the outside, but it's showing you how irrelevant and how unimportant you are to their realms. And for me, it's always been one of them things where it's like big events are always memorable. So for me, I always wanted to put the best energy I could into, big events. So like, let's say like I went to a wedding or something. I haven't been to one in years. I've been to one wedding. I've been to more funerals than I have weddings. You know what I mean? And the one that I did go to was my brother that's a year younger than me, who we don't talk anymore. And he's not married anymore. But it's like going to weddings. So like going to a wedding, if a fight break out, if a drink gets spilled intentionally on somebody, if any kind of thing weird or witchy happen, it's one of those things that stands out, and it's like a bookmarker in your spiritual world. And it's one of them things that you'll never forget. It didn't even have to happen to you. You just know that it's part of that energy vibration, and it's gonna connect to your memory bank. A lot of beings understand this. A lot of them understand this, and they choose to still operate in that witchy energy. They still choose to not value you. And we all know that's due to them not even having no value on themselves. You know what I mean? But just understanding these things, like a lot of these demons out here, that's their job. They are waiting for you to have some kind of big event, some kind of memorable event for them to be able to stamp their disgusting energy. You know what I mean? Like, in my past, if I was celebrating somebody's solar return with them, if they weren't them people that it's all about them on their solar return, then I don't give a damn. It can be all about you. It's your day. You know what I mean? For me, on my solar returns days, mine's just passed on the 28th. It's the 30th now. I had dropped the content, but I didn't post anything or plaster there. For me, on my solar return, I give back to the universe. It's like, here, okay, who can I impact in effect, opposed from me taking my solar return and just making it all about me. Because everything out here points you to be selfish. So if something is pointing me to be selfish, I'm gonna look at the selfless side and see how the odds weigh. You know what I mean? But I usually lean more towards the selfless side, and then I'll take a percentage of the selfish side. It just depends. You know what I mean? So for me, on my solar return, creating memories. You know, I don't care about doing extravagant stuff. I didn't get my mini this weekend, and I didn't get to pick her up on my solar return, just because the way my retarded ass witch got the paper reorganized, which is all getting rescheduled. But anyways, it's like I went out and I would have did the fruit, but we at school, and it's kind of like indoctrination school. You know, I'm in the middle ground when I have to go to them places. I can't just go out all in teaching, or else it kind of pushes some away and don't keep some open, receptive for learning. So I made her some dumplings and took her some cupcakes, just a couple. I'm at the school and it's still planes following me out here. It's crazy. And took her some cupcakes, gave her 6. And it was like watching her distribute her 5 cupcakes to her best friends. It was like, that shit's slow. I'm not waiting for that plane to pass. It is going extremely. I'm not even near the airport right now, but y'all know they gotta find us one way or another. So, but yeah, I took the cupcakes with her and fixed her some dumplings. I'm big on memories, so the home cook is cool with me. Then the cupcakes was just something extra, you know, something indoctrination. I don't really give a fuck about cupcakes, but I know that the little people like the sugar and the energy, blah, 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 blah. But instead of me getting everything for the whole classroom or for all the kids in the cafeteria, I just grabbed 6. All right, you can distribute. You don't play with everybody. So now you can go give the ones that you want to. But it was such a process for her that I loved watching her be able to make decisions and choose. And she also had to reject some people, because, you know, little people, if they see somebody with something, they all gonna want to come get some. So seeing how she told some of the other girls, you know, no, or bypassed them, and then the same way she did with some of the boys in there, it was really interesting, you know. But that was like a huge, and she really enjoyed it. It was exciting for her, like just the whole process of allowing her to be in that kind of control, and then be able to guide her through the process, you know, because I could tell that she wanted to share with more people, but she kind of felt sad that she couldn't, because she didn't have that many. But she really wanted to make sure that her immediate friends had got some, because I only brought her 6. The same way my mini enjoyed that and loved it. That's a memory that was created on a special day for me. You know what I mean? And that will be one of the moments that won't ever be forgotten or forgotten. So then you got on the flip side, I'm just keeping it at the solar return because mine's just passed. These are just, it's easier when I can correlate it with my life opposed from coming up with these far out examples, you know. And then on the flip side of that, having a solar return, and then being adults knowing that's your solar return, them saying that they want to do something for you or with you, and then just completely disappearing at, you know what I mean? And it's like, you cannot hit me the next day trying to do like some kind of make up conversation or make up anything, because you cannot make up that energy. That day, that event, that was a special day, that was a special event. That energy is already set there. You is not a solid being. You did not hold it down organically or to your best ability. You know what I mean? So I had told somebody, I was like, it said something about making it back up to me. I was like, nah, you good. You ain't gonna be able to do that. Because my solar return, even though I give back on my solar returns, it's still a special, it's one of those memorable days. Like, I don't remember every single solar return, but the ones that was really impactful, I remember. You know what I mean? And it's like my mini put her highest light that she could and was enjoying her time. The other being was being selfish, you know? And then what you realize is a lot of times when you have like events and these big things going on, or just things that's important to you, you know, them demons don't really want to celebrate you. Even if you're not asking to be celebrated or to have any accolades thrown to you, they really do not want to. So it'll be some ghosting going on, because I done had some ghosting. Some of them motherfuckers just don't pop back up on those days at all. So it's not like they give you bad energy. They just don't be available or around, which you still remember in your spiritual world. You be like, oh yeah, when I had that event, I didn't hear from this person at all that day. And then the next day, that's when they called me and wanted to talk or gossip or do their little thing that they do. You know what I mean? But we gotta remember, like, we are constantly creating memories. So we want to create the best memories. You don't want to have to think about somebody or about an event, and the first thing that processes is the thing that was unwelcoming, you know, something that didn't, you know, feel like in alignment with moving in a higher light. But a lot of these demons out here, this is how they gonna operate, you know what I mean? And until you show them otherwise, they're gonna continue to operate the same way. You know, every time somebody do that to me, I tell them, like, ain't no makeup. Ain't no makeup. How you gonna make that up? What you gonna do to make that up? What could you possibly do? Because you cannot rerun that time back. You're not gonna be able to buy me anything with any materials to make that shit up. And it's not gonna be enough food, sex, hanging out, entertaining that you're gonna be able to give me to make up for that memory that's already embedded up here. Your memories stick with you. They are connected to your soul, you know. These are the things that go with us. These are the things that have meaning. Meaning means that, for me, in my spiritual world, when I process and think of people, I don't want to think of all the witchy shit that they done first. All the times that they done ghosted me or disappeared or did any of that shit. You know what I mean? The best people and the best vibrations that you stick with and that you constantly go around when you not vibrating in an unhealthy space. Because some of us be in that unhealthy space because we just want some connection, and we'll still go mingle with them weird witches. When we not in that space, we not going over there, because the negative always outweighs. That's why we always think of the negative first when we think of certain beings that was in our space. It's because the negative outweighed. If the negative didn't outweigh, then it wouldn't be a big deal. So even when you think about your past, even people that you dealt with, it's like a lot of them, the negative had outweighed. It was very few people that the positives outweighed. Usually when the positives outweighed, you still stayed in communications with them. On the healthy spectrum, we still stay in communication because we all out here in this Western witchy shit, you know what I mean? But just being aware, like, you know, these demons, it's their job to kind of twist up your days, your events, you know, things that mean something to you. If it has value and substance to it, best believe that it's their job to taint it and put their disgusting Freddy energy all over it, you know what I mean? But I ain't want to run it up too long. Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.